Hello, it's Nienke here from Nienks.com, and today I'm going to do the last card in the series, and we're going to use the little ducks. So this is from the Stylish Sketches SALE-abration stamp set. I love this one. It is absolutely great for watercoloring. This was the first card. I do have a video that will be linked in the description. This was card number 2 with the fox, and now we're going to do the last one. So again, I have a very vanilla base, just a standard card size, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just going to fold that. Use your bone folder to burnish, and then I'm just going to set my card base aside while I work on my card front. So this is also a SALE-abration item. It is designer series paper, the Rings of Love, also free with a $50 order, same as the stamp set through August. Okay, so these are just 2 little pieces. It's 1 inch by 4. 1 inch by 4. We're going to tear this down like we did with the other one, so we will do that in a little bit. Okay, you will need a mossy meadow, a little a mat, which will be 4 by 5 1/4, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 5 1/4. Yes, that's a standard. And we're just going to add our dottage. Now with the first 2, one we started from the right side, the other one from the bottom. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. I love these dots from the set. They are absolutely amazing. So we're going to start from the corners. Okay, so your darkest color right here, and then we're going to move in, just twisting the dots a little bit. I don't want it too dark there, so we will just go this way and just work our way up the sides. There we go. Just starting dark here and then fading to your 3rd and your 2nd generation stamping, and sometimes I just keep on going. I think that's about what we want. Don't think we need to go any further than that. Now I'm going to do the opposite side. It's easier for me to work this way again while that is drying a little bit. You do not stick your hand in maybe some drying ink, although this ink dries very quickly, and it usually is not that big of a problem. I like to twist my stamp a little bit. Is that about it? I think so. I want to go about halfway down. We're going to cover that part up, so that is fine. I think we're good. As I said, it doesn't matter where you stamp, you just want some texture on your background. I'm just going to clean this. Something to note is that if you don't press too hard with your stamps, because you might get this halo effect if you accidentally touch that to your project. Okay, so just a light tap, and I like to clean off my stamp because I just place them on my work surface like this and they fall over sometimes, and yeah. Okay, I'm going to put this one aside. We are done with this for now. I will stamp a greeting on here a little bit later as soon as I'm sure about my placement. I have a piece of very vanilla. It is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 ish. We're going to tear this down too, so you just want it big enough to fit your image. I'm using early espresso. Now again, I'm going to do that watercolor technique. This is not watercolor paper, so it will warp if you use too much water. I do not. I have learned how much water to ink ratio works well, so you can use watercolor paper if you want. Plus this is just normal water-based ink, so even your outlines will dissolve. It will run into your project. I just give mine a little time to dry. Normally I do that first and then stamp my other things, so that this will have a little bit more time to dry. But it's okay with this effect. I don't mind if it runs a little bit. Okay, so I'm done. Well, I might use my early espresso for some shading. I cleaned off this one. Now I just need to grab my water brush, and I'm going to start with the Mossy Meadow because that one is open anyway. Like you can see, I already have some ink in there. You can use a re-inker. I like to put another ink pad underneath there so it doesn't wobble, and you can just reactivate with the water on your water brush. I'm just going to start with the grass underneath their little feet, go up there, up this way a little bit, down a little bit, under her feet, over a little bit. Now again, this is Mossy Meadow and early espresso. You do not want to rub on that too much, otherwise you're going to get a muddy mess. Okay, that's enough. You're good. I'm going to clean. Oh, I want to do his little head, so it's going to be darker at the top and then fading in. So I'm going to start right there and then just bring the color down his neck, stopping at this white line because that is white. Just going to add a little bit more, and then I'm going to add. Now I'm done with the running it down because we don't want this early espresso to bleed too much. There we go. Dot dot dot. That's his head done. Okay, that is all the Mossy Meadow we need. I'm going to close this off and switch it up with Bumblebee. Now there, his beak is more yellow, her beak is more orange, so I might use a little bit of pumpkin pie. So he's got a yellow beak, and I think actually that's all the Bumblebee I'm going to use. You can use crushed curry. I think Daffodil Delight may be a little bit too bright. Okay, this is just some pumpkin pie, just to have a spot for that. And their little legs are orange, so I'm going to just add dot dot dot. Do not rub across your paper, just dot dot dot. So they have these little orange feet, and she's got a darker part at the top, but we're just going to make this orange for now. I can add some early espresso a little bit later. There we go. Clean off my brush. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of early espresso and just add a little bit on the top of her beak there. There's just that darker part in her beak. Okay, now she's lighter. I'm going to do use cinnamon cider. If you don't have cinnamon cider, you can just use the Calypso Coral or any color you have. Now he's light at the bottom. He's got a little bit of a darker color here by his wings. Now there's a lighter spot right there somewhere on his wings. I don't think we really see that, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to leave. It's like a blue little stripe. I feel he is twisted enough that you might not see that. And then he has a little bit of a darker color right here on his chest to have this like dark spot right there. So I'm going to add that just like so, and then all of this just fades out into that lighter color. So we're not going to mess with it a lot. As I said, if you have cinnamon cider, use cinnamon cider. If not, use any other color. Okay, now I don't want a lot of water, I just want the color. She has a little bit of a darker area by her eye, so I'm just going to start with that. And then I'm going to blend this down, or pull the color down actually, and the same here. Just pull this down. I want to do a little bit darker here, coming down, a little bit darker there, coming down, and just a little bit darker on this side. And now wherever the artist gave us some dottage, I'm just going to add some dots on these areas. Dot, 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 dot. Add some more color right there. Okay, and that's her done. And now I'm going to do the same with him. Just add the lighter color here. Just going to go over this a little bit to bring those two colors together. I do like the color I get when I add the cinnamon cider over the early espresso. Now with her, I just want to tie the two together. I'm just going to add a little bit of cinnamon cider, not cinnamon cider, early espresso to her too, because you want, I just need to tie their colors in a little bit more. There we go. So I'm just dotting some cinnamon early espresso on her, just to bring their colors in together. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do. Now that needs actually a little bit time to settle and to dry a bit, but we're going to go ahead and get them done. The other thing I want to do is add some dottage to them too. So I'm going to use my bumblebee, and I'm going to use some real red. If I remember correctly, that was the colors I had. Where's my dots? In my previous one, and I'm just going to grab my other grid paper here. I don't really want to mess that one up too much. It's the one I used for the dots previously. Okay, now I don't need this anymore, right? There we go. Okay, stamp off. I don't want it too dark. And then I'm just going to add some dots here and there. Oops, I smeared that one a little bit, but it's fine. There we go. There's the real red one, and then I'm going to add some bumblebee. As I said, the color in the designer series paper is crushed curry. You can use that. I just do not want to add red into my yellow, so I'm going to make sure that there's nothing on there. Ink up, stamp off, and then let's add this here. I think I need a little bit more on this side. There we go. Just random little spots to tone down that very white, like vanilla area. Okay, now I'm going to tear this down. I want to leave this edge because I want to put it flush to the side of my card base. So I'm going to tear off a piece on this side, just like so. Again, I think I explained in the previous video, if you want to have this little white edge, you tear towards yourself. If you do not want that, you need to tear away and use this thumb to guide where you tear. And there we go. That was quick and easy. And what I want to do with this piece too is I want to add my twine. So I'm cutting just 2 pieces of twine to wrap around. Oopsie. Okay, my scissors. I think I need to replace them. I use them for everything. I'm going to use 2 pieces. You can only use 1 if you want. I'm using 2 with my glue dot. Add glue dot to my braided linen trim. I don't think this is available anymore, but there's that beautiful silver thread twine. I think that's a new one in the mini catalog. There's also just the normal linen thread in the annual catalog. What I also think would look nice is the I do like that twine thing. I think there's another one, but I can't think of it right now. There we go. I'm just going to tear this little corner here off. There we go. It made that look, gave the optical illusion that that was not on straight for some other reason. Okay, and then I just do a knot. So I add just a piece of, I just tie it off the spool. I feel that I have less wastage. Then, come on. And I try to space it 1/3 of the way up, if I have not explained that before. Now I'm just going to cut these about the same length, and we're going to fray it again because I like that look on these. Sometimes I put a glue dot under my twine on the front, sometimes I don't. I feel this is a small enough piece that it won't really you know, go anywhere. So that is the idea. We're going to tear this away too. Again, I don't want to tear towards me right now because I don't want that white edge. So I'm going to tear from the other side, and I just want to take off a very tiny little strip here. Otherwise my DSP strip is going to be too narrow. If you struggle to take off a little piece like this, just cut yourself a thicker, like a wider piece of DSP. I don't mind. The pieces that I tear off is a bit, you know, it's waste anyway, so I try to just take off as little as possible. But if you struggle with that, just cut it a little bit wider and take off about, you know what, 1/4 of an inch of whatever is easier for you to tear. You can also tear a bigger strip. I mean, the measurements doesn't have to be perfect. It's just an indication of roughly how you know how to do it. Okay, so we are coming up the last one here. Having long nails, I think, also helps. Once again, I think I have a little girl wanting breakfast. I think I said in a previous video, my early mornings is the best time when everybody is sleeping, but then every now and then the 3-year-old wants to get up early. Her sissies are still fast asleep. Okay, last, oh come on, last little piece. Can we do it in one go? There we go. That's great. Okay, so there we have our 2 pieces, and I want to add one up here like this. I'm going to adhere them down, and then I'm going to do my sentiment stamping. So if you are not confident enough, oh, I don't want to put it on the edges because I want to lift it up a little bit. If you are not confident in stamping your sentiment when you've already, you know, did all of this work, you can dry fit everything first and then you know, and then stamp. I think I said that in the previous ones too. I'm just pulling up the edges. I wanted to do that with this one too. It's easier to do it before you adhere, but there we go. You can fix anything. This one has a little bit of a directional, this paper has a little bit of a direction. You can see with the acorns, they're hanging down. To add this here, just like that, and then I'm going to add this over there, like so, and I'm going to put my greeting. Before I add that with dimensionals, I use this thanks from Queen Anne's Lace. I felt that it fits perfectly in there. I love the script. If you don't have it, use any thanks you have in your stash. I'm sure you have something. Ink it up nice. I have some dotted edges right there. I'm going to just eyeball where I want it and put it down. Just nice even pressure, and then I like to give it some time to absorb the ink into the paper. Again, I did not use Mossy Meadow on Mossy Meadow. I used Early Espresso on Mossy Meadow. That will make it nice and clear, because we're not using a sentiment strip. You still want to see it. Clean off. Let's close all the ink. And now we can add our little duckies with dimensionals, if we can find them. Yes, we can find them. One, two, three, and then I'm going to cut one down because I don't want to put dimensional on that linen trim. So I'm just putting it off to the side here. Okay, remove the backings. And we are almost done with the series. There we go. Put this one in line with that edge. And I first check my placement before I stick it down completely. I'm happy with that. This is going on our card base, just like this. These are really quick cards. They come together so nicely. I really love it. I do love the stamp set with the watercoloring. I've really been enjoying the watercoloring that I started with a little bit ago. Okay, and we still need a little bit of these dots. I'm still using my retired ink color enamel dots. You can use that brushed metallic ones. I'm pretty sure they will work beautifully. Grab my take your pick tool. Let's put one over here. Again, I don't press them down hard. I just, place them lightly so that I know. I first check if, this is where I want them. One up there. Let's see. And yes, I like that. So then I go ahead and make sure that they are stuck there very well. Okay, and that is our last card in the series. I hope you enjoyed it and that you picked up some tips. I already stamped an envelope for this one, so let me show you. There is that. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, and here is the other two. I wonder if I have their envelopes close by. Let's see. There's this one. There's that one. And did I make one for the fox? This is, here we go. I did. Where will we put this? Let's move this one up a little bit. Let's put the fox down here. And this one there. Fiddling with envelopes and cards. Anyway, okay, there we go. I hope you can see all of them nicely with their envelopes. and that this gave you some more ideas for the future. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will just see you in the next video. Bye bye.